Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, English podcast for learning English. Imagine you're stepping into a bright new world where English flows easily from your lips, where conversations open doors to exciting opportunities, and where every word you speak builds your confidence higher and higher. Can you learn English fast on my channel? Well, that's exactly what we're here to explore together. The truth is, learning any language quickly isn't magic. It's about tapping into the right mindset, discovering powerful habits, and giving yourself permission to progress every single day. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you really like what I do here. I'd love to know where you're listening from right now, so drop your location and local time in the comments. Let's build a community of English learners sharing their journeys from all around the world. Now, turn off the lights, maybe turn on the fan for some soft noise, and let's get started tonight. Learning English is about more than memorizing words or rules. It's about unlocking a new way to connect, think, and express yourself. When you change your mindset and daily habits, the door to fast learning swings wide open. The power is in your hands. You'll discover how simple shifts like focusing on progress instead of perfection, creating small daily wins, and embracing curiosity can transform your learning journey. In this first section, we'll explore the foundation of rapid progress, the power of fast learning itself. Understanding that your brain is built to learn languages, especially when you use the right strategies, will motivate you to keep going. This is about breaking free from the idea that English must take years to master. Instead, it's about tapping into your brain's natural ability to absorb, adapt, and grow every day. We will look closely at how to create a learning mindset, one that welcomes mistakes, values consistency, and thrives on challenge. I'll guide you to shift your perspective so you see English learning not as a chore, but as a daily adventure. From setting small goals to celebrating tiny victories, these mindset changes are the secret sauce for fast, lasting improvement. So get ready. By the end of this podcast series, you will know how to power up your English learning with simple habits and strategies you can start right now. It's not about doing more, it's about doing smarter. Now, let's dive deep into how you can unlock your fastest progress by changing how you think and what you do every day. First, let's recognize that your brain is wired for language. It loves patterns, repetition, and meaningful input. When you expose yourself to English regularly, especially in ways that interest you, your brain eagerly absorbs it like a sponge. The key is consistency over intensity. 5 minutes every day beats 2 hours once a week. Fast learners understand this and build small daily habits that keep English fresh and exciting. Next, you need to stop chasing perfection. Waiting to speak until you feel ready only slows you down. Fast learning comes when you accept that mistakes are proof you are trying and improving. Embrace errors as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. This mindset frees your confidence and opens the door to more practice. Also, focus on progress, not perfection. Track your daily wins, however small, like understanding a new phrase, successfully ordering food in English, or even thinking in English for a minute. Each win builds momentum. Momentum leads to motivation, and motivation keeps you moving forward. Finally, cultivate curiosity. When you approach English with wonder and excitement, treating each new word or phrase as a discovery, you make learning fun and meaningful. This keeps you engaged and less likely to burn out. So start today by deciding you will do something English related: listening, reading, speaking, writing every single day. It doesn't matter if it's 5 minutes or 15. What matters is showing up consistently, embracing mistakes, and celebrating progress. You have everything you need inside you right now. Your brain is ready, your curiosity is your fuel, and your willingness to try is your superpower. So, take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and get ready to leap forward in your English journey. Fast learning starts with a mindset shift, and you've just taken your first step. Now that you've started to understand the power of fast learning and the mindset it requires, it's time to talk about something that many learners overlook but is absolutely crucial: setting clear goals. You might be thinking, why do I need goals? Isn't it enough to just study and practice? The answer is, Not quite. Goals give your learning direction, purpose, and energy. Without them, your progress can feel slow or aimless, and motivation tends to fade quickly. When you set clear, meaningful goals for your English, you create a roadmap that guides every step you take. This roadmap helps you decide what to focus on, how to spend your time, and how to measure your success. Goals don't have to be huge or intimidating. In fact, the best goals are specific, achievable, and tied to your personal reasons for learning English. Are you learning English to travel, to get a better job, to chat with new friends online? Defining your purpose fuels your motivation and makes your practice feel more relevant. Let's break down what clear goals look like. First, think about the big picture. What is your ultimate reason for learning English? Maybe it's to speak confidently at an international conference, or to watch your favorite movies without subtitles, or simply to communicate comfortably when traveling. Keep that big reason in mind. It's your why that will carry you through tough moments. Next, set smaller goals that you can achieve regularly. These might be daily, weekly, or monthly targets, such as learning 10 new words a day, practicing speaking for 15 minutes, or completing a listening exercise. These smaller goals give you wins to celebrate and keep your momentum strong. The key is to make your goals smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. For example, instead of saying, "I want to improve my vocabulary," say, "I will learn 15 new words related to food this week and use them in sentences." Instead of "I want to speak better," say, "I will have a 5-minute conversation in English every day this month." These clear targets make your progress visible and your efforts focused. Another powerful technique is to write your goals down and review them regularly. Writing makes your goals real and strengthens your commitment. You can keep a journal, use a digital planner, or even create a vision board with images and phrases that inspire you. Revisiting your goals daily reminds your brain what you're working toward and keeps your motivation alive. Importantly, your goals should be flexible and evolve as you grow. Don't be afraid to adjust them if your interests change or if you reach a milestone faster than expected. Flexibility helps you stay positive and engaged instead of frustrated. Also, share your goals with a friend, a tutor, or an online community. When you tell others about your goals, you create accountability. People can cheer you on, offer support, and even practice with you. Accountability makes it more likely you'll stick with your learning plan. Remember, goal setting is not just about planning, it's about energizing your learning journey. Clear goals make every study session purposeful and every challenge manageable. They transform English from a vague dream into a series of achievable steps. So, today, take a moment to write down your big why for learning English. Then, set one small, specific goal you can accomplish this week. Maybe it's listening to a short podcast episode or practicing a few phrases with a friend. Whatever it is, make it clear, make it realistic, and make it exciting. Your goals are your compass. They keep you moving forward, help you celebrate progress, and make learning English feel like a meaningful adventure. With your goals set, you're ready to build the confidence that will carry you through every step. Building confidence is one of the most important steps in your English learning journey, and it's also one of the most misunderstood. Many learners believe that confidence comes after perfect grammar or a big vocabulary, but in reality, confidence is a muscle you develop by using English regularly and embracing the process, mistakes and all. Without confidence, even the best vocabulary or grammar knowledge can stay trapped inside your head. So how do you start building your speaking confidence right now? The secret lies in simple daily routines designed to make English feel familiar, comfortable, and even fun. One of the easiest ways to begin is by practicing speaking aloud every day, even if it's just to yourself. Find a quiet spot, and talk about your day, your plans, or something you read or watched. This daily speaking habit trains your brain and mouth to work together smoothly. Another powerful routine is to record yourself speaking. This may feel awkward at first, but listening back helps you hear your progress and notice areas for improvement. Over time, this builds self-awareness and reduces the fear of judgment. You'll realize your voice is stronger than you thought, and mistakes are just part of learning. Also, Try to speak English in low-pressure situations. Use simple phrases when ordering food, asking for directions, or chatting online. Each small success adds a brick to your confidence foundation. Remember, confidence is not about speaking perfectly, it's about being willing to speak at all. If possible, find a speaking partner, someone who is patient and encouraging. Practicing with a friend or tutor creates a supportive space where you can try new words and phrases without fear. If you don't have a partner nearby, there are many online platforms where you can connect with learners or native speakers for casual conversation. Visualizing success is another technique that builds confidence. Before speaking, close your eyes and imagine yourself speaking clearly, calmly, and confidently. Picture a positive reaction from your listener. This mental rehearsal prepares your mind for success and calms nerves. Finally, celebrate your progress regularly. Each time you speak, even imperfectly, acknowledge the effort and courage it took. This positive reinforcement trains your brain to associate speaking English with reward, not fear. Confidence doesn't come overnight, but with these daily habits, it grows steadily. The more you practice, the more natural speaking English becomes. You'll start to notice your hesitation fade and your voice grow stronger. So today, start with a simple step. Speak aloud for 5 minutes about anything you like. Record it if you can. Smile at your progress, no matter how small. Building confidence is your ticket to speaking English fast and fluently. Now that you're building confidence to speak, it's time to sharpen your listening skills as the foundation of understanding and communication. Immersive listening techniques can transform your brain's ability to recognize words, phrases, and natural rhythms of English without overwhelming you. The good news? You don't need to spend hours locked in a classroom. The secret is to listen smart and consistently. First, start by choosing content that excites you. Podcasts, movies, TV shows, music, or even YouTube videos on topics you enjoy will keep your attention longer. When you're interested, your brain naturally tunes in better, making learning feel effortless. Pick something at your level or slightly above it, challenging enough to grow but not so hard it feels frustrating. A powerful method is active listening. This means you listen with purpose, not just as background noise. For example, try listening to a short podcast episode and then summarize the main idea out loud or write it down in your own words. This practice trains your brain to focus on meaning, not just individual words. Another technique is repeated listening. Play the same clip multiple times. The first time, just listen for general understanding. The second time, focus on details like vocabulary or pronunciation. Repetition deepens your brain's familiarity with sounds and patterns, helping you internalize them naturally. Use subtitles wisely. Watching with English subtitles can support your understanding, but avoid translating word for word. Instead, try to match spoken words with subtitles to improve word recognition. Gradually reduce reliance on subtitles as your listening improves. Shadowing is an advanced but effective technique. It involves listening to a sentence or phrase and immediately repeating it out loud, mimicking the speaker's rhythm and intonation. This method not only boosts listening but also improves your speaking fluency and pronunciation. Don't forget to engage with real conversations if possible. Listening to native speakers in everyday settings gives you exposure to natural speed, slang, and expressions. If face-to-face isn't possible, apps with language exchange partners or conversation groups online are great alternatives. Finally, make listening a daily habit. Even 10 to 15 minutes every day adds up quickly. Consistency is more important than duration. Your brain needs frequent exposure to train itself to understand spoken English naturally. By training your ear with immersive listening techniques, you build a strong foundation to understand English in real time. This foundation supports your speaking and builds your overall fluency. Remember, it's not about catching every word but grasping meaning and enjoying the process. Start today by picking a short podcast or video you like, listen actively, and repeat what you hear. Your listening skills will grow, and your confidence will soar. Now that your ears are tuned in, it's time to expand your toolkit with one of the most powerful assets in language learning: Vocabulary. Mastering essential vocabulary is about more than just memorizing lists of words. It's about learning and using the right words that open up real conversations and understanding. When you focus on the most useful words, you can speak, listen, read, and write more effectively and faster. The first step is to identify the core vocabulary that suits your goals. Are you learning English for travel, business, or casual conversation? Each goal has its own set of high-frequency words that will be most helpful. For example, travel learners benefit from words related to transportation, food, and directions, while business learners focus on terms used in meetings, emails, and negotiations. To learn vocabulary quickly and remember it well, it helps to use a few smart strategies. One is to learn words in context rather than isolation. Instead of memorizing apple as just a word, learn it in a phrase like I ate an apple for breakfast. Context creates mental connections that help your brain remember and use words naturally. Another effective method is spaced repetition. This means reviewing new vocabulary at increasing intervals, right after learning, then a few hours later, the next day, and so on. Apps like Anki or Memrise use this technique to help you review words just before you forget them, making your learning more efficient. Flashcards remain a classic tool, but use them creatively. Add images, example sentences, or sounds to your flashcards to make them more engaging. When possible, practice using new words in your own sentences or conversations to reinforce their meaning and pronunciation. Don't shy away from synonyms and related words. For example, if you learn the word happy, also explore joyful, pleased, and content. This broadens your expression and helps you understand subtle differences in meaning. Reading and listening are excellent sources for natural vocabulary. When you come across new words, note them down and look for patterns. Which words appear often? Which are used in your everyday life? This personalized vocabulary list becomes your most useful study resource. Also, try thematic learning, focusing on one topic at a time, like food, health, or technology. This approach builds strong mental categories that make retrieval easier during real conversations. Lastly, practice active use. Writing sentences, chatting with friends, or recording yourself using new words cements them in your memory and build your confidence. By focusing on essential vocabulary and using smart learning strategies, you can build a powerful word bank quickly. This will help you understand more and express yourself clearly, bringing you one step closer to fluent, confident English. So today, pick 5 new words related to a topic you love, learn them in context, and use them in sentences. This simple habit will accelerate your vocabulary mastery and fuel your English success. Now that you have a growing vocabulary and stronger listening skills, it's time to focus on the heart of language learning, a speaking practice without fear. Many learners feel stuck here because they worry about making mistakes or sounding silly. But the truth is, speaking confidently comes from practice. And you can start practicing right now, even if you don't have a conversation partner nearby. The first step is to practice speaking alone. It might sound strange at first, but talking to yourself in English is a powerful way to improve. Describe what you're doing, share your thoughts, or even rehearse dialogues out loud. This builds your fluency and helps you get comfortable with the sound of your own voice in English. Remember, there's no judgment here, just you practicing and growing. Using tools like voice recorders or language apps can make solo practice even better. Record yourself speaking, then listen back to notice your pronunciation and rhythm. Don't worry about perfection, focus on clarity and natural flow. Over time, you'll hear your progress and gain confidence. When you're ready, try speaking with others in low-pressure environments. Language exchange platforms, online conversation groups, or speaking clubs are great places to start. Choose partners who are patient and supportive. Remember, they are also learners, and everyone makes mistakes, so that's part of the journey. Another effective technique is to prepare and practice common conversations. For example, practice introducing yourself, ordering food, or asking for directions. Having these go-to dialogues ready reduces anxiety and makes real-life speaking easier. Role-playing can also be fun and helpful. Imagine different scenarios like meeting someone new or making a phone call and practice what you might say. This trains your brain to respond naturally in various situations. Don't forget to focus on pronunciation and intonation. Mimicking native speakers through shadowing exercises, repeating what you hear immediately, improves your speaking rhythm and makes you sound more natural. Lastly, embrace your mistakes. Every error is a lesson that brings you closer to fluency. Celebrate your willingness to speak, even if it's imperfect. Confidence grows through action, not waiting for the perfect moment. So, today, start speaking out loud for 5 minutes alone or with a friend. Use your new vocabulary and phrases. Notice how speaking regularly builds your courage and fluency faster than you imagined. Speaking without fear is your gateway to fast, confident English. Take the leap, and enjoy the journey. With your growing speaking confidence and vocabulary, it's time to take a fresh look at grammar, not as a set of complicated rules, but as a tool to make your English clearer and more natural. The key to mastering grammar quickly is learning by doing. Instead of memorizing endless rules, focus on using grammar in real situations, so it becomes part of how you express yourself. One of the best ways to learn grammar in action is through meaningful practice. When you speak or write, pay attention to patterns in your sentences. Notice how native speakers use different tenses, prepositions, or sentence structures in everyday conversation. This exposure helps you understand grammar intuitively. Try pattern drills where you repeat sentences using different verbs or subjects. For example, practice simple present tense by changing I eat to you eat, he eats, and so on. This builds your muscle memory for common grammatical forms. Another effective method is to read or listen to short texts with clear grammar structures. Then, rewrite or summarize them in your own words. This active engagement helps reinforce grammar naturally. Don't stress about perfection. Making mistakes while using grammar is part of learning. When you notice errors, gently correct yourself and try again. Over time, your brain builds the right patterns without forcing. Use grammar as a tool to communicate, not as a barrier. Focus on expressing your ideas clearly first. Once you're comfortable, you can refine your grammar for accuracy. Resources like simple grammar books or apps can help clarify tricky points when you need them, but don't let rules stop you from speaking or writing. The best grammar lessons come from real communication. Also, practice combining grammar with your vocabulary and speaking skills. For example, use new words in sentences that highlight specific grammar forms. This integrated practice strengthens all your skills at once. Remember, grammar is the framework that supports your English. When you learn it through meaningful use, it becomes invisibly just part of your natural expression. So today, try writing or speaking sentences using a new grammar pattern you've learned recently. Focus on using it confidently rather than perfectly. This approach will make grammar your friend and fast-track your fluency. By learning grammar through doing, you turn rules into real skills that help you speak English clearly and confidently every day. Technology is your secret weapon in the quest to learn English fast and confidently. Today, there's a world of apps, websites, and digital tools designed to help you practice, improve, and connect, all from the comfort of your own home. But with so many options, how do you choose the best tools to boost your learning journey without getting overwhelmed? The first step is to select apps that match your goals and learning style. For example, if you want to improve vocabulary, apps like Anki or Memrise use spaced repetition to help you remember words efficiently. If speaking is your focus, apps such as HelloTalk or Tandem connect you with native speakers for real conversations. Listening apps like Spotify, Audible, or podcast platforms offer endless English content tailored to your level. You can listen during your commute, workout, or while relaxing, turning spare moments into learning opportunities. Interactive language platforms like Duolingo or Babbel provide structured lessons with gamified experiences, making daily practice fun and motivating. They often include reading, writing, listening, and speaking exercises in one place. Using technology wisely means setting clear limits to avoid burnout. It's easy to get distracted by notifications or spend hours aimlessly scrolling. To prevent this, schedule focused study sessions with specific app goals, like learning 10 new words or completing a speaking exercise. Voice recognition technology is also a game changer. Many apps now offer pronunciation feedback, helping you improve your accent and clarity. Take advantage of these features by practicing regularly and comparing your pronunciation with native speakers. Don't forget about online communities. Forums like Reddit, English Learning, or Facebook groups allow you to ask questions, share experiences, and get encouragement from fellow learners worldwide. In addition, video platforms like YouTube host countless English lessons, tips, and real-life conversations. Channels tailored to learners at your level can expose you to authentic language in an engaging way. Lastly, use digital tools to track your progress. Apps that monitor your study time, vocabulary growth, or speaking fluency help keep you motivated by showing how far you've come. Technology can accelerate your English learning journey, but it works best when combined with consistent effort and real-world practice. Choose tools that inspire you, stay focused, and keep your goals front and center. Today, explore one new app or website that fits your learning style, set a small goal, and make it part of your daily routine. With the right technology, you'll leap forward faster than you imagined. As you progress in your English learning journey, you might hit a point where progress seems to slow down or even stop. This is known as a plateau, and it's a common experience for learners at all levels. Understanding how to recognize and overcome these plateaus is essential to keep your momentum going and continue making fast, confident progress. A plateau can feel frustrating because it seems like all your hard work isn't paying off. You might find yourself understanding less than before, struggling to remember vocabulary, or feeling nervous about speaking. The good news is that plateaus are a natural part of learning, signaling that your brain is consolidating knowledge before moving forward. To break through a plateau, start by changing your routine. If you've been focusing mostly on reading, try adding more speaking or listening practice. Variety challenges your brain and sparks new learning connections. Sometimes, simply switching the way you practice can reignite your motivation and progress. Another strategy is to revisit your goals. Are they still relevant and exciting? Sometimes plateaus occur because goals feel distant or unclear. Setting new, achievable targets can refresh your focus and energy. Challenge yourself with slightly harder material. If you've been using beginner resources, move up to intermediate content that pushes your limits without overwhelming you. This keeps your brain engaged and growing. It's also helpful to track your progress carefully. Keeping a learning journal or using apps to log your activities and achievements helps you see small improvements that might otherwise go unnoticed. Recognizing these wins, even minor ones, can boost your confidence and help you push through tough times. Don't forget to take breaks when needed. Sometimes a short rest helps your brain absorb what you've learned and return refreshed. Seeking feedback from teachers, tutors, or language partners can provide new perspectives and advice to overcome challenges. They might spot habits or gaps you haven't noticed. Remember, plateaus don't mean failure. They're signs that your brain is working hard behind the scenes. Patience and persistence will help you break through and reach new heights. So if you're feeling stuck, try mixing up your routine, setting fresh goals, and celebrating every bit of progress. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. Building strong daily English habits is the secret ingredient that turns learning from a struggle into a smooth, enjoyable part of your life. When you make English practice a natural, consistent routine, you create a positive feedback loop where progress feeds motivation, and motivation fuels more progress. Start small and realistic. It's better to do 5 or 10 minutes every day than to overwhelm yourself with hours once in a while. The goal is to create a habit so easy and enjoyable that you look forward to it rather than dread it. Morning or evening? Find the time that works best for you, whether it's a few minutes over breakfast or just before bed. Consistency matters more than the time of day. Incorporate English into your daily activities. Listen to an English podcast while commuting, read news headlines in English during lunch, or narrate your actions in English as you cook or clean. These small moments add up quickly. Use reminders, set alarms, sticky notes, or app notifications to prompt your practice. Visual cues make it easier to stick with your habit. Track your streaks. Many apps show you how many days in a row you've practiced, and this simple gamification encourages you to keep going. Make it fun. Mix different activities so listening, speaking, reading, and writing it to keep things fresh. Try games, challenges, or even English songs to engage your brain and emotions. Connect with others. Join online groups or find a study buddy. Sharing your journey with others adds accountability and makes learning social and enjoyable. Reflect on your progress weekly. Celebrate your wins and plan your next steps. This reflection helps you stay motivated and adapt your routine as needed. Remember, habits are built over time. Be patient and kind to yourself on days you miss or struggle. The important part is to return and keep moving forward. Today, commit to one small English habit you can do daily, whether it's listening to a 5-minute podcast, writing a sentence, or speaking aloud. Make it enjoyable, and watch how your steady effort turns into confident success. Strong daily habits are your foundation for fast and lasting English improvement. Build them wisely, and the rest will follow. Now that you have daily habits underway, let's talk about real-life conversation tips to help you start and keep English conversations flowing naturally. Conversation is the ultimate goal for many learners. It's where all your vocabulary, listening, and confidence come together. Yet, starting and maintaining conversations can feel intimidating, especially with unfamiliar speakers or new topics. The first tip is to start with simple, open,